This week on The Outfitters, meet the Guides of Texas, two explorers dedicated to the wilder side of Lone Star State fishing. From the wilderness streams of hill country to the surging surf of the Texas coast, these intrepid outfitters earn the label adventure anglers.
Just a little bit different than the mako shark fishing I do on the West Coast.
And they found a kindred soul in Conway Bowman.
This seems to be a little bit more low-key. Oh, Johnny, where are you? He's right here, where are your gloves? Tigers, bull sharks, black tips, they're all right there, and they're all definitely mean sharks. Woo! Texas!
Behind the unforgettable adventure, behind that trophy of a lifetime, there's an outfitter who makes it all happen. Join our dream team of veteran hunters and anglers crisscrossing North America to find the hardest working men and women in the outdoors. This is The Outfitters.
Hi, I'm Conway Bowman. For fishermen, Texas offers many opportunities. From its spring-fed rivers to its rugged coastline, Texas is a fisherman's paradise. I'm here to explore this diverse fishery with Johnny and Marcus from the Guides of Texas. I brought the Ford SVT Raptor to load all the gear and travel the back roads on this Texas adventure. I hope you enjoy the ride.
We first met Conway when he came down to fish with us on the Devil's River and do a 3-day, 2-night trip.
On probably the most pristine, cleanest, hardest river to float in Texas.
And we camped out, we caught a lot of fish, and that was great, but it was more about just hanging out with those two guys on a river for 3 days. And right then, I realized what a great outfitting service they were.
One of the things I told him when we were on the Devil's River is that we know a lot of river miles in Texas, and he needs to spend a whole week with us, and we could show him a different river every single day. So Conway shows up, and the river's blown out.
The challenges to being an outfitter is logistics, straight up. Nature has a way of throwing a wrench into everything.
So we had to come up with plan C and D and E, and
oh man, this looks blown out too.
yeah, we're just gonna have to keep going upstream.
God, that is totally blown out.
Chocolate milk.
Oh my God, I'm screwed, is what I thought. So we decided to run to almost the very edge of the Llano River.
So we roll up in the Raptor, and we've gone over some pretty bumpy roads to get to the spot. We had to move around quite a bit, actually. So we get out, and immediately Marcus and Johnny are up unloading. So we taking all this stuff?
Yeah, getting all this in the boats.
The great thing about this, I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere, basically. We got here on a kind of a remote dirt road, hauled the canoes down here, all the gear, and this is not a big river, but it's really intimate. I get pumped up for tarpon, I get pumped up for all sorts of fish, but I'm really pumped up for this trip. Johnny and Marcus, they've got this thing wired, so stoked. Wow, this is sweet. So Marcus and I are in the canoe, we're moving down the Llano River, and it is spectacular. I mean, I'm in the middle of Texas, but sure doesn't seem like it because it is lush, it is green, the water is clear, it is absolutely gorgeous. And then Johnny had his own canoe behind us, and Johnny's a professional photographer, so it was great because he was there to do a little fishing, but also to take some photos of the great Llano River. There he is. Got him. Boy, that was such a subtle take.
Yeah, I didn't even see her line move.
Man.
It was very exciting to show Conway different water.
Check that out.
Bluegill, isn't it?
Yeah, little bluegill.
Conway,
Real subtle take.
he's real gung-ho, and I think if you combine fish and beautiful water,
That was pretty cool.
Conway's gonna go.
And I've caught some really, really great fish. I mean, big fish, but you know what? I still love catching bluegill.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's the greatest thing. And they're such a beautiful fish. But I think also it brings back a lot of great memories. Fishing with my dad. And never gets old. Never gets old. Yeah. Oh. So Marcus, this is just really varied water. I mean, you've got slack water, almost like a lake, and you had ripples up top. And where we launched, I mean, it was a narrow little river. I can see where a trout angler would really like this because you have the varied water. You know, you're not making a 40-foot cast.
Right.
You're just sort of, you know, working the shoreline.
Mm-hmm. Dinking away and, you know, and here and there pick up a fish.
Ah, yeah. Killer take. Yeah, it's a better fish.
Ah.
That's a nice one. Look at that. Boy, he was right on the bank, too. So this guy's got a longer ear on him.
Yeah, that's that red-breasted.
Red-breasted?
I used to call them long ears, and the name fits. That's probably the predominant fish on these rivers.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, I cannot get enough catching bluegill.
When we return, Conway scratches another species off the life list, and later, the boys hit the South Padre surf. The Outfitters is brought to you by Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
What makes Johnny and Marcus's business so unique, the Guides of Texas, is these guys will take you to the ends of Texas to get you on a great fishing experience. You know, it seems like it's more than just a fishing trip. I mean, you're actually coming out and you're kind of in the heart of nature, just kind of hanging out and drifting down the river. It's really quiet, it's really peaceful. Mm-hmm. You're catching a few fish, you're looking at the birds. I think more people need to do this, experience sort of nature at, you know, at this level right here.
Oh, sure.
Fishing's a part of this, but I think it's going down the river, man. It's just checking things out.
I met Johnny around 1997. We met in college and we worked together.
We used to work at HEB and work in the customer service department. We go way back.
What made me want to be an outfitter was I love being outside and I love introducing people to what I do.
Marcus and I were fishing on the Blanco River, which he lived on the Blanco River.
Oh, he nailed it.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
And we were talking about the coast, fishing for redfish. And
that's a green sunfish.
That's a green sunfish. Wow. God, I haven't caught one of those in years.
I kind of, you know, looked at him and said, hey, we should guide on the coast. And he kind of laughed and he goes, man, we should just guide right here. And it didn't make sense to me at the time because no one was really guiding on Texas rivers. And from there, it kind of just evolved and we started the Guides of Texas.
So we're moving down the river. We came to this one turn. I made a cast. There he is.
Nice. There you go.
Oh, bad
wad.
Yee-hoo. Boom, had a fish on, and immediately I knew it was a bass. Just, could this be a Guadalupe? I think it
looks it.
And there it was. I got my Guadalupe bass. Good.
See ya.
I got him.
Awesome, man. That was cool.
Good stuff. So if any outfitting service needs this vehicle, it's Johnny and Marcus, because the Ford SVT Raptor does everything that an outfitter needs, plus it'll get you to those far off places, over those rugged roads, down to the water with no problem.
So we're here at one of the crossings, Conway, and you know, there's a little trail down here, and you know, we can drive down there and get a little better look.
Sweet. So Johnny, use your truck apps for off-road mode, and we'll get down this road. Everybody's familiar with the rear view camera, but the Ford SVT Raptor has a front view camera. As you're going up very steep inclines, you can see right in front of you, right in front of the tires, which is awesome for safety. And then as you decline, going down a steep embankment, a sand dune, or over some very steep rugged roads, you can see in front of you as well. It brings the off-road experience into a much safer arena, and I think that's really critical.
Honestly, I have to say I fell in love with the Ford Raptor. It worked great in the hill country, it worked great on the gravel, getting to the river, and then we brought it down here on the Texas coast in the sand. It's a beautiful truck, it handles great, it has power, it has room, it has great features. What I liked most about the Ford Raptor was the confidence it gave me to go wherever I wanted to go.
It's Baja tested, and now it's Texas tested. What excites me about fishing in Texas is it's a diverse fishery. You can fish a number of lakes, you can fish these spring-fed rivers, but you can also go to the coast and have some tremendous saltwater fishing. So Johnny, Marcus, and I leave the hill country, and we're heading for the coast. You know, Texas is a big, big state. So we have about an 8-hour drive or more to South Padre Island before we even hit the dunes, which is another 25, maybe 30-mile run. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad we're in the Raptor because it is a comfortable ride, a lot of leg room, great air conditioning. It's a great ride. So get into town late and we get some sleep and then we're up early the next morning. So we load the truck, we head out of town, and we hit the dunes.
We ditch the canoes, we grab a kayak, grab some other beach fishing gear, change our fly rods out for conventional gear.
So being from South Texas, this is my home and this is where I live, and it's a beautiful place, it's a beautiful region, and it feels so good to go over that bridge and drive past all the buildings.
Then all of a sudden, that stuff disappears and you see the sand dunes creeping onto the road. You're in one lane and the dunes are getting bigger and bigger.
And then you get off the road and all of a sudden you're just in the middle of nowhere. And it's truly enjoyable, and I absolutely love being out in the outdoors and just being free. What I've learned over the years to fish the Texas coast, you have to be prepared for everything. I think what I love most about it is that I come out with no agenda and no preconceived notion of what I'm gonna do. There's a lot of mullet and bait running through here, so we're gonna get a net and try to catch some bait so we can be ready for some redfish or shark or whatever else is out there that we have an opportunity to catch. I come prepared with all the things that it takes to catch something with your own muscles and manpower.
And the thing is, we need bait on this trip because we didn't come with any bait because that's part of the experience. You gotta catch the bait before you catch the fish. The thing is, we're losing daylight. So Johnny said, hey, you know what? Let's try to find a real productive area. Let's set it up and let's try to get a shark. So we find the spot, and you know, this is a big production. Johnny, Marcus pull the tables out, they start rigging, steel leaders, big hooks, big rods, the kayak, the whole thing, the bait. So the one thing we did bring were a couple of big frozen bonita, so that was sort of the plan B if we couldn't catch any bait. Then I'm holding the rod. We walk up the beach about 500 yards because Johnny needs to place that bait up current. We have a very hard current that's pulling sort of down along the shoreline.
It looks rough, the tide's coming in.
All right, here we go.
You know, I was a little hesitant to do it, but Marcus and Conway are helping me to get all this done because it's definitely a team effort trying to catch a very large shark, especially from land.
He's got good acceleration going through the rip. He's through the first wave and out to the first bar. There he goes. He made it. And he gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and the waves are getting bigger and bigger and bigger as he gets closer to that second sandbar. Uh-oh. He's down. Bait's in the water, blood in the water, folks.
You're gonna have to get like just a good head of steam and just keep going. No matter what, just punch through.
Here we go, round two, ladies and gentlemen. The Shark Rodeo on South Padre Island. Johnny takes the second attempt. I'm going, man, this guy's dedicated. I mean, he's a brave man. He's in the rip current, he's paddling out. He almost gets to that third sandbar, and oh, again. Oh man, this is rough stuff out there. I'm glad I'm here and not there. Wow, the dedication. So he starts coming in, right? And he gets to the beach, he goes, I dropped the bait. I couldn't get out to where I really wanted it, but I think I'm in a good spot. Good job, man. That's what I call dedication. Oh, this is the wackiest shark fishing I've ever experienced. Johnny comes back, walks up the beach, we put the kayak away. Now we're set up. We're all relaxed, okay? So we're sitting there, we're waiting. The rod's in a big holder, it's up. You can see the line going out, you can see the current, you're watching that rod tip. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 and it was a hard hit on that rod. It's hard to tell with that weight. So what happened, okay, the shark came up, picked the bait up, and then dropped the bait. That's shark fishing. You know, I mean, there's nothing you can do there. Look at the bait, see if there's anything on it though. Or I mean, see if there's any teeth marks on it. We were all sort of like, oh man, because you know, we had put a lot of effort in that day, running the beach, catching the bait, Johnny going through 2 kayak tip overs. Yeah, it could have been a small, yeah, it could have been a small sand shark maybe. Man, that's a.
Well, I ain't taking that back out, I'll tell you that.
But you know, I mean, that's fishing.
Okay.
But at that point, we were a little bit dejected.
Right here, oh, got him. Got him? Yep, yes, baby.
It's a feeding frenzy on the Texas coast when the Outfitters returns.
Oh, yeah, baby.
On the dunes of South Padre, Conway is camped out with the Guides of Texas.
Johnny and Marcus are unique in their own right. They're the owners of the Guides of Texas, but they're both individuals in terms of personality and how they are. So Marcus is one of the mellowest guides I've ever fished with. Doesn't say much, but what he says is really important. Now Johnny's a little bit more rock and roll. He's about driving fast. He's about catching saltwater fish. He's about catching big fish. And he's got a real swagger about it, but it's a great balance. And they're both just dynamite guys.
Johnny and I, we love doing overnight trips. We decided to spend the night out on the beach. So we wake up in the morning very early, before sunrise. In fact, we're driving towards East Cut, and the sun is just a little bitty sliver on the sea. Johnny was very excited with the conditions. The tide had come in, and Johnny made it a point that we wouldn't stop this time, but we would drive straight to the jetty to see how the fishing was going to be, and he predicted it was going to be very good.
So we get out of the truck, rig up a couple of 10-foot spinning rods with big surface poppers, and we head out on the jetty.
This is gnarly. This is super slippery right here. I got the wrong shoes on.
The Guides of Texas came from Marcus. Marcus is a writer and a poet, and he's really good with words. And, you know, it just sounds a lot better than Quiros Rodriguez guide service.
It's a big jetty, and the waves crashing, so it's pretty technical fishing. We get out to the end of the jetty, start throwing those poppers, and almost immediately,
Tarpon rolling right there.
it's action. It's on.
Uh-oh, Conway.
Got him, baby. Woo!
Oh!
We're seeing tarpon rolling. We're seeing jacks breaking.
There he is. Yeah. Yep, he's on. That was another tarpon.
This is the real deal. I had not even anticipated that.
Right here. Oh, got him. Got him? Yep. Yes, baby.
I don't know what I have at first, and all of a sudden I see this big sort of wide fish, and I knew I had a jack.
Nice jack. Woo! Killer jack.
So I'm bringing that thing in, I'm reeling it in, it's taking me out, it's burning line off the reel, and I get it close.
He's got me in the f***ing rocks.
I'm like, oh man, this is great. I'm 10 feet up on a jetty, and this jack just ran under a rock.
Hey, Conway, can you come this way?
So I'm yelling at Johnny, what do we do? He said, I got it. So, he starts scrambling down the rocks, the waves are breaking, there's moss and slippery stuff all over the place. And this is another dicey thing.
Oh, shoot.
Watch out behind you.
That, Johnny does. Not only the kayak, but now he's gonna scramble down these rocks.
Finally, man. Working so hard. Jack Crevel. So I jumped like a 40-pound tarpon, and I threw that thing out there again, second cast, and a big school of these things just blew up on that surface popper.
And having all that action, I didn't land a lot of fish, but it was just having those fish come up and nail that popper, especially jumping that tarpon. That is one of the coolest experiences. But that jack, hard fighting fish, I'll catch him every day.
A little bit different than catching panfish and Guadalupe bass on poppers, but kind of the same, I guess.
The morning bite's over, the sun's up, it's high in the sky, the fish basically shut off. So we hop in the Raptor and we start going down the beach, covering some ground. We're having a good time in that truck, running through the water. Get to camp, get some lunch, kind of rest up, because Johnny said, the afternoon bite can be really, really good.
So we're seeing these turns working right out here, right in this trough, close to the beach. And Johnny caught a really nice king mackerel. So we're just kind of running and gunning the beach. If we don't get anything here really quick, we'll just keep moving. Part of guiding is creating an experience, and what people think in their head is very important. And if they don't, if they think, oh, we're gonna go out and catch a bunch of fish and a bunch of big fish, we're gonna catch 50 of them, and it's gonna be easy and it's gonna be great, you have to bring them back to reality, because these are wild fish. It's an ocean out there, and it's hard to catch a fish from land. Oh, yeah, there's a turtle right here.
So in shark fishing, you use a steel leader and a big hook. I've never shark fished from the beach, so we use a steel leader, a big hook, and a big weight on the bottom. And that weight, basically what it does is as you throw that big bait and that weight out into the surf, the weight sticks in the sand. It keeps a taut line because there's a lot of current, so that was critical. So on the second day, Johnny decided not to take the kayak, which was probably a good decision because the surf was, breaking pretty big. So he walked out to the second bar, he waited out there, and we were going to fish the second cut, they call it. And that's right outside the first sandbar. So Johnny makes a cast, settles it in, walks it all the way back, and sets the rod right in the rod holder. And now we're fishing, and now we're waiting. And this is really fun fishing. I've not really done a lot of this fishing, but I kind of like it. And all of a sudden Johnny says, we got a hit. And you look up,
Get him in.
get that song going. So Johnny sets the hook and goes, Conway, come down here and get this. So I run down, I grab the rod, and I reel tight on that fish, and I pull back with all my might. It didn't do any good because that rod went totally bendo, and that fish just started tearing off line on that spinning reel. I'm watching it going, okay, this is a big shark. Oh, Johnny, where are you? He's right here, where are your gloves? I got this guy right here. Or give me the gloves, I'll do it. We get into the beach, close enough for Johnny to grab the leader. Johnny grabs that leader and we bring it in, okay? And I'm looking at this really, really cool looking sandbar shark, and I've never caught one of those before.
Hey, hang on, buddy. There you go, nice.
So I'm a shark outfitter, but I do it on the West Coast, and I've never fished sharks in Texas, and I've never fished them off the beach.
4 feet long, 5 feet long. Nice fish.
Yeah. So being with Johnny and seeing how he does it was really interesting.
You got some good fishing down here in Texas.
Yeah, it's been a great day.
There's a camaraderie there. The target is the shark. The process is kind of the same, but yet different because the rigging's different, the process is different.
Sandbar shark. Woo! Texas. I love Texas.
Because fishing in Texas is so diverse, a co-outfitting operation is ideal. Fishing the spring creeks and the foothills, and then coming down to the coast, I mean, it's great. And you really need that because, honestly, to be able to master all that, I mean, that is a lot. So to have two guys that are very disciplined in both areas, but each has their own sort of specialty, you can't beat it.